Good morning, sirs. Today I am the introduce myself. My name is B.V. Prasad Yanamadala, working as a lecturer in biology. Basically, I am dealing with that is zoology. Now, and having so coming to the questions, what I have given the questions. I have given 3 questions to solve these 3 questions. First one is in a mosses the sporophyte is A option produces the gametes that give rise to a gametophyte, and B option arise from the spore produced from the gametophyte, and C manufactured food for itself as well as for the gametophyte, and a D is a partially a parasitic on the gametophyte. So this is the question where here the question is in a mosses the sporophyte is here mainly the sporophyte function in these bryophytes. The sporophytes the function is here it able to produce the gametophytes. Here it able to produce the gametophytes. Why means here it shows in mosses here it shows the alternation of a generation. That means if it is completed one cycle, that is sporophyte is completed, it undergoes the gametophytic phases. So here the first here it shows that the arises from the spore produced from the gametophyte. That means here the spores are produced, that means the producing the gametes that give rise to a gametophyte. So here it is a first option will be the correct answer. Why means the sporophyte will differentiated into fruit, setae and a capsule. The capsule will consist of spores. These spores are fallen on the ground. They produce the gametophytic stages. So here the spores will having the gametes are produced. The spores will fallen on the ground. Gametes are produced. So here automatically from that produce the gametes and give rise to a gametophyte will be a produces. So here it shows the haplodiplontic a life cycle is taken place in the bryophytes, and also shows the alternation of generations. That is so here the first option will be the correct answer, and remaining how they are not be, that means remaining also will discuss why they are not able to correct. So here arise the second option arise from the sporophyte produced from the gametophyte. That means from the gametophyte the sporophyte here arises will not be taken place. And the third one the manufacture food for itself as well as for the gametophyte. Why means here the sporophyte is the depending on the gametophyte for the food and production, they are depending on the gametophyte. So here it is also a not be correcting. And here sometimes here it may be D also will be shows a correct answer. But the main function of the sporophyte is to produce the gametophyte only. Later that is it is depending upon the other factors only. So here it is partially parasitic on the gametophyte, it is correct only, but here the main function, the main theme of the sporophyte is they have to produce the gametes and give rise to a gametophyte only. So here the first option is the correct answer, but here remaining will not be shows a correcting. Why means they are not be taken place. And so here next coming to the second question. Coming to the second question. So here it is a D. In the D also here a partially parasitic on the gametophyte for food and production, but here it is not a main function. So it is not be considered as a sporophytic function. So the main function of this is they produce the gametes that give rise to a gametophyte only. Next, coming to the second question, that is, which one of the following is a common to the a multicellular fungi, a filamentous algae, and a protonema of mosses? So here the options are, the first one is a diplontic life cycle, and the second option will show the members of a kingdom Plantae, and C will show a mode of nutrition, and here it shows the multiplication of a fragmentation. A multiplication of a fragmentation. So here question is, one of the following is a common, here it is main. Here a common factor should be taken place. So that common factor is first option, if it is taken place, first option will not be taken place. Why means here a diplontic life cycle. Diplontic life cycle means here the sporophyte is the dominant phase than the gametophyte, where here this diplontic life cycle is seen in gymnosperms. It's seen in gymnosperms and the angiosperms. It is seen in gymnosperms and the angiosperms, where here it is a diplontic life cycle, that is gametophyte, the sporophyte is a dominant phase, where it is later it is an gametophyte stage. So here this diplontic life cycle is seen in gymnosperms and angiosperms, but not in the fungi, algae, and mosses. In these we will see an haplodiplontic life cycles. Next, B option, members of kingdom Plantae. These are not members of the, that means here the fungi is not an member of a kingdom Plantae. Why means here in a kingdom Plantae will includes higher organisms, that is higher multicellular chlorophyllous organisms such as the algae, bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms, and the angiosperms. So these are the members of kingdom Plantae, but here fungi is not included. It includes separate phylum, that is a kingdom, that is the kingdom Plantae. It is separated. So according to the Whittaker's classification, here the fungi is grouped into separate phylum, okay, that is kingdom that is kingdom Mycota or fungi. But in kingdom Plantae, here it includes the algae. It includes in kingdom algae. It includes algae, bryophytes, pteridophytes, and gymnosperms and the angiosperms. So these are the five classes where they are present in kingdom Plantae. That is also not be a correct one. So next, C, mode of nutrition. Here mode of nutrition means here the fungi will show us the heterotrophic, heterotrophic nutrition. Here it shows the fungi will show us a heterotrophic, that is some will show us the parasitic in nature, and the some shows the saprophytic in nature, and some will show us as symbionts. So you will having a different mode of nutrition is taken place in the fungi. But in algae and bryophytes, these are chlorophyllous organisms. That means they are having chlorophyll pigment, so they are autotrophic in nature. But here the fungi is heterotrophic. So here it does not having the common point is not be present. If these are all are chlorophyllous, then we can take in place as a common point. But here will shows fungi will shows heterotrophic, and remaining two will shows, that is algae and mosses will shows the autotrophic in nature. And the last one, if you seen here, that is the multiplication of fragmentation. So it is a correct answer. Why means here it shows the reproduction. Here it shows a reproduction by asexual. So here reproduction is by the an asexual is the a common point where it is a correct option. That is here the fragmentation. It is small detached or fragment which is detached from the parental and give rise to a complete an organism. So this process we can call as the fragmentation. So here fragmentation is a type of a reproduction, that is an asexual reproduction. So here in this in fungi, algae and mosses, where it shows a common point, that is a reproduction is taken place by asexual reproduction. So that is a common point which is presenting. So here a D option is the a correct answer, the mode of refragmentation. Now coming to the last question, that is the third question. We'll discuss third question. So coming to the third question. The third question is which one of the following is a correct, that is the following matches is a correct. So here first one, the alternaria shows the sexual reproduction is absent in a Ditromytosis, class Ditromytosis, and B mucor, it is taken place by reproduction by the conjugation, where it shows in class an Ascomycetes, and C agaricus, where it is a parasitic fungus, where it shows in Basidiomycetes, and D Phytophthora, an aseptate mycelium, that is a Basidiomycetes. So here first one, if you taken place the alternaria. Here alternaria, the sexual reproduction is absenting, and here it shows in a Ditromytosis. So I means it here it is shows that a correct answer. I means here a Ditromytosis will be taken place as the fungi. Here the fungi and imperfect. Why means here in Ditromytosis, an example, an alternaria. If you see in here, it shows that that is a sexual reproduction is a completely an absenting. So due to the absence of this complete sexual reproduction in the Ditromytosis class, Ditromytosis, here we can call them as a fungi imperfect. Imperfect means here it shows only asexual reproduction is taken place, but sexual reproduction is absenting. Due to the absence of sexual reproduction here, these class Ditromytosis we can call them as a fungi imperfect. So it is a correct option where it shows that, and later we'll discuss second one, the mucor will shows the reproduction by the conjugation will shows that, but here it is the mucor. An example is here it should be in the Phycomycetes. If it is a Phycomycetes, it is a corruption, but here it shows an Ascomycetes. Here Ascomycetes will be taken place by the both asexual and sexual reproduction is taken place by an ascospores. In Ascomycetes, here a sexual reproduction is taken place by the ascospores. So here it is a wrong option. So it is a wrong answer. Where if it is a Phycomycetes, it is a correct answer. And second one, here agaricus. Agaricus is will shows that the mushrooms. Common name we can call them as mushrooms. So here these are parasitic fungi, and these are Basidiomycetes. So here it shows the parasitic fungi. Here the agaricus is a saprophyte. If it is a saprophyte means it depends upon the dead and decaying organic matters. From the dead and decaying organic matters, these are developed, these are grown. So they are called as saprophytes. But here agaricus or mushrooms are not a saprophytic fungus. So here it is a wrong option. If it is saprophyte, here it is a correct option. It is a correct answer will be taken place. Next, last option, that is Phytophthora, and aseptate mycelium and basidiomycetes. Here it should be not an basidiomycetes. Here it should be the phycomycetes. It should be a phycomycetes. Why means in a basidiomycetes, here it is not an aseptate. Here it shows the septate, and also that septate will shows that two type of septates, that is a primary. It shows the primary and the secondary septate. Say primary and a secondary septate. The primary septate is the monokaryotic, and the secondary will shows the dikaryotic. So here this will be monokaryotic means nucleus. In the septate, in the primary, will having only one nucleus is presenting in basidiomycetes, and in secondary septate here it shows two nucleus. Di means two, karyote means nucleus, having two nucleus in the septate. So you can here it shows the basidiomycetes, it shows a septate but not an aseptate. In Phytophthora it is an example. In Phytophthora it takes an aseptate, but it is not under the class the basidiomycetes, it is included on the class the phycomycetes. If it is phycomycetes, it belongs to the correct and options. So here best of the, that means of the four options, which one is the correct means here it shows the A is the correct answer. Why means here alternaria, it is an example for deuteromycetes, where here the sexual reproduction is absenting. So due to this here these deuteromycetes, class deuteromycetes is also called as the fungi imperfect, where sexual reproduction is completely and absenting, only asexual reproduction is presenting. So it is the first option is the correct answer. So these are the three questions which was given So these are the three questions which was solved by myself. So for giving this opportunity for all the Unacademy of a team, we are taking as heartily I am saying thankful for the Unacademy staff as well as members. Thank you.